Darn.
Just say it's not for kids.
I do that every video. and then I just wait for the day where YouTube says, "We see your daughter behind you. You had a kid in your video. We're gonna have to take it down." Okay, so on my screenshot, which you're seeing now, your harmonization is 13-30, 59, and I'll explain these numbers in a second, 60, 62, 78, and 79. Hopefully, I've done things right. So harmonization 13-30 is actually in your book, and the rest are not.
Right.
So when we get over to Music 21, not Music 22, Music 21 on Canvas, under Files, please tell me it's there. There is a document called Harmonization Piano 2. And it looks like that. It's a 2-page document, and there's little numbers. So basically, I wasn't totally satisfied with the harmonization examples that were left in your book. So I'm supplementing with a couple of examples from a different book. And you'll notice that in these examples, it's more true to life where they don't give you dashes. So you've got to figure out where you want to put the chords. And this is what it's going to be more like when you go over to state. They're going to say, here's a melody, harmonize it with chords in your left hand. We're not going to tell you where to put them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So remember, the requirement is to get 2 substitutions in that are not the same substitution. So we are trying to sub in 2-chord, 3-chord, 6-chord. Does everyone remember what their subs are? The 2-chord substitutes for
4-chord.
4-chord, and they have 2 tones in common. And the 3 substitutes for
5.
5, and they have 2 tones in common. And the 6 substitutes for
1
chord, and they have 2 tones in common. Are we okay with that?
Yep.
Shall we attack one of these lovelies?
Gently.
All right. So we're going to look at 59. We are in the key of
B major.
major. Good. So here's our melody. All right, so if this was me, I would probably figure out where I want my dashes. It's easy just to do 1 per measure. And then I'd put in my 1s, my 4s, or my 5s. So I know I'm going to put a 1 here. And I know I'm going to put in a 5 here. And I know I'm going to put in a 1 here. You with me? And then I'd put in my 1s and my 4s and my 5s. based on the rules that I know you've known since Piano 1. Here I could get away with a 1 or a 5. Here I want a 5. Here I want a 4. I'm going to put my 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. It's boring. And we're all right with that, yeah? It may be what you would or wouldn't do, but it's close. All right? You with me so far?
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm going to sub things out. And this is a prime spot to put a 6. Or I could drop. Yeah? This is a prime spot to put a 2. If I do that, I'm going to go to the 5. I put a 6 here because it was too boring having 3 1s in a row. Maybe I could have done a 6 a couple chords earlier. I don't like it. A 5 could work, or a 3 could work there, though. Why does the 3 work there, even though it's not supposed to be a 1? Or not supposed to be a 5? Why does the 3 work there?
Because it could be a 5.
Could it? Let's see. That might be a good point. Yeah, you could get away with it. But there's a more compelling reason why the 3 works there. What is a 3 chord in the key of D major?
The C, right? That C can be in a 3 chord.
What's a 3 chord in D?
Hold on.
It's a F,
C,
F,
F sharp,
F sharp,
F sharp,
A,
and then C.
and C sharp. So the reason the 1 is there is because we have an A and an F sharp, which are the 3rd and the 5th of the 1 chord. Does everybody
the
see what I'm
leading
doing?
tone.
So these 2 tones are in common between the 1 chord and the 3 chord. And these 2 tones are in common with the 3 chord and the 5 chord. Does everybody see that? So the melodic notes that we've been given are A and F sharp, and they work with the 1 and the 3. So that's why this 3 works so nicely as a substitute there. So even though we're used to subbing 5 for 3, you got to pay attention to context, because this is the perfect context to slip a 3 in. You know what I mean? And as long as they work and they're not clashing, it works. You could do it again here if you wanted, because it's just a naked A, which could belong to 1, could belong to 3, could belong to 5. all three of them work, but I think the one going to the, I think the one going to the 3 is the most interesting. Or maybe coming out of the 6. So we really dressed that up from just a very vanilla Mickey Mouse-ish bubblegumish 1-4-5 harmonization to where we've got 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s in there. Does that help? So that's where all your harmonization examples are for you to work on for your badges. How's that badge leaderboard going?
I haven't checked in a bit.
I think that only one person's turned in a video since 2 weeks ago. We checked last, and I haven't graded it yet. So I don't think there's any change. All right. Chord progressions. Have we looked at our chord progressions lately?
No.
We have 2 chord progressions, 253 and 262 for the final. Let's look at those for a second. On Canvas. Can I clear my screen? Did everybody get a screenshot that wanted it?
Hold up.
As long as you post the video, I'm
Okay.
good.
You're good.
Okay. I will post a video. Need to boost my followers on ClassPiano. It's even worse than Docby Theory. All right.
Oof.
What's that?
I said big oof.
Yeah.
Bad,
Okay.
bro.
If I'm at home, there's a spot that says chord progression 253, 262, and there's no link to it in the videos. I will fix that right now. Let me see if I put them in here. I did not. All right, let me fix that right now. So if we go to ClassPiano, there's my cute chubby hands. And you go to videos and 253.
Okay.
Are you hearing
Chord
audio?
progression on 253.
I can hear it.
Whoa, didn't want to do that.
We are in the same voicing, single note on the left. First inversion triad in the right. So we're going to be playing E, G, C.
So this is 10-24 in your book.
From there we're going to the 6, which is down a third in our left hand. Keeping the E in our bottom voice in the right. Our middle voice goes up a whole step. And our top voice stays the same. From there we move down another third in the left to F. Our bottom note moves up a half step in the right, and everything else stays the same. From there, we keep the same note in the left, same note in the bottom voice, same note in the middle voice, and our top voice goes up a whole step. It gives a 2-6. From there, our left hand moves up a whole step. Our bottom note moves down a half step. Our middle note moves down a whole step, and our top note moves down a whole step. Keep the same bottom note in the left, bottom note in the right moves up a half step. Keep the middle note, and our top note moves down a half step. And back to our original chord by going down a fifth in the bass, down a half step, keep the original middle, and move up a half step.
So So you could write all those whole step, half steps in your book if you wanted to, if that helps you. I can't remember how else I teach it here.
If you look at all of the voices independently, the
Yes, I
soprano voice, the alto voice, the tenor voice, they don't move more than a step.
So I just want to teach that to you guys now in solfege because I didn't do ear training back then. So all the soprano does is do, 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 re, do, ti, do. Only 3 notes, right? And the altos, even less because they can only handle 2. Oh, that's not true. Oh, I might have to edit that out of my YouTube video. So, la, 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 so, so, so. They only get 2 notes. And then the tenors, same thing. Mi, mi, fa, fa, mi, fa, mi. And the basses are the ones that are the foundation that really give us the contrast. Do, la, fa, fa, so, so, do. So it doesn't matter what key we're doing it in. That's going to be the solfege for any of these keys, right? Questions on that?
When
I'm
did
gonna
you record that video? It doesn't sound like you at all.
2016. It's before I wore my voice out yelling at kids.
I feel attacked.
So do my kids.
Where the bass moves by skips. Stays the same, up a step, stays the same,
I
down
used
a
to be
step.
young, Catherine. I used to not have gray hair.
So the left hand is the tricky one in my opinion on this chord progression because it
But
skips and
Aiden
leaps.
always like the.
Say again?
Oh, I'm still like, it really does sound like a student is doing it for you and you're just taking credit.
Yeah, I used to be young. I have all
I don't
kinds of
believe
gray hair now. If you think this
Would you like
one's
to do it
bad,
in another
I'll
key?
show you another one that's even worse.
Oh,
D?
please do.
Okay, D, we're going to have D in the bass. We're going to have F sharp, A, and D in the right hand. Our fingering
It's
is
Baby Basco.
1 in the left, 1,
What?
2, 5 in the right.
I told you this now.
Skip down in the bass to a B. Right hand bottom note stays the same.
I mean, you really sounded so enthusiastic about teaching.
Yeah, it's all gone.
That must have been it, you know.
The thrill is gone. Watch this one.
In this video, we'll talk about the B major scale. The B
Oh,
major
you seem
scale
so
is one of the
sad.
easiest scales to play.
Seems
Chopin
so
often taught it to his
sad.
You look
pupils
like you're being held
first
against
because
your
of its
will.
natural
I think that was a turning point. That was a
Black note
downfall.
is
That's what it
played.
started.
I am being held
Scale.
against my will in Iowa City
Two
here
white notes
as a
occur in the
doctoral
scale,
student
B and E.
with no job.
You'll notice that the 2 white notes are above a group of 3 black notes and
So
above a group of 2 black
This
notes.
is like one of those videos where you film you're like
As far as fingering
day
goes, the
whatever
right hand
if
is
I
going
don't
to
see my
be
family, like this is
1,
like
2,
a
3,
before you die
1,
video.
2, 3, 4.
Yes, yes.
My first
Like
video.
Captain's Log, you know.
Your left hand, you can start on 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2.
Teach piano to my children and I'll let you see your family again.
It is
Like,
okay
that's
to start
so
on a
emotional.
4 with your left
dead
hand.
This is my
inside.
very
The
first
B will
attempt at
eventually be
making a
played by the
video.
1, so it's okay to start with that too.
This was a long time ago.
One way I like to practice the
Here.
B major scale is by blocking.
Baby
According to
Bascom
color.
was so nervous.
First you play the white note, 2 black notes, white note, group of 3 black notes, white note, group of 2 black notes, white note, group of 3 black notes.
The multi-camera view.
Yeah, man.
He had feels, just no feeling.
This can be done hands together as well. White note, group of 2.
Is this not shot in 4K?
Oh no. I don't even think high def was out yet. This is shot actually on a camcorder.
This will help in putting the hands together as well, filling the groups of 2 black notes and
A little
group of
hard
3
to
black
believe.
notes. I hope these tips have helped.
So there you go.
What year was that?
Oh, let's see. I was I finished BYU in 2000. Boy, you're making me think. 2004, and then I went to Michigan
1900. Yeah.
I went to Manhattan 2004, 2006. I went to Michigan 2006, 2008. So it was somewhere between 2008 and 2011.
Oh, wow.
Took it on a camcorder?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, cause
When did the iPhone come out?
yeah.
2000 and what?
Razors are making a comeback right now, and that's the weirdest thing to me.
Yeah.
I think it's 2004. Oh,
2007 was when the first iPhone came out, and I didn't have one for quite a while.
Oh, they were expensive.
So, Doc, have there been any because I know you do your own teaching with kids.
Yeah.
Have there been any like horror stories with little kids that just shouldn't? Are you very selective with your students?
Oh, I mean, I've only got so much time to teach privately because of my college gigs, so I haven't really had any horror stories. But yeah, there's plenty of horror stories out there. If you want to take my pedagogy class, you might hear a few. I remember going to my first national conference for Music Teachers National Association in 2002. And there was an insurance company as one of the vendors in the exhibitor hall, right? All the music companies come, the publishers come, the piano companies, Yamaha's there, Steinway's there, all these companies are there. And there's this insurance company from Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm like, what are you guys doing at a conference for piano teachers? I'm like, what do you guys do? Like insure instruments? And they're like, yeah, we insure instruments, and we also insure for wrongful sexual harassment claims. I was like, oh, okay, things just got real. And being a male teacher is like, wow, that's something that I now have to think about. And in the world that we live in now, this was 2002.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this because maybe they got insurance and then they did the deed.
Well, I have personally not been hired to teach at a music school because I was a male.
really?
I've been discriminated against being hired because I was a male, and the teacher didn't want to deal with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did
Was
they
that-
say that explicitly?
Yeah.
Wow.
Was that here or was that somewhere like
that was in Utah.
really?
Yeah.
So, why? Was it like an all-girls school or something?
No, but it was an all female faculty. Yeah, she would just
Go figure.
She would just hire girls to teach under college girls to teach under her. So it was a master teacher and a bunch of teachers under her, and
wow.
so yeah, this was
That's
way back.
insane.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of fun, crazy, weird, sad, scary stories for piano teaching, but I usually tell them in my pedagogy class. So next fall, get in piano teaching. Even if piano isn't your main instrument, Merlin, tell them you're in there, right?
I sure am.
How's it been being a non-pianist in piano teaching class?
It makes me think a lot about how I could use all of the resources to apply it to different instruments.
Yeah.
And when we were looking at the Royal Music Conservatory, the RCM syllab, like all the syllabi that they have, there is one for just about every instrument, and I was surprised that there was one for bass because everything's kind of a second thought, like for bass in anything if it's not bass guitar and jazz related.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
So you can totally take piano teaching and adopt the concepts that I'm teaching to your instrument, or better yet, you can be a hybrid where you can teach piano and teach your instrument and learn. And I've got another student in the class that's a guitarist, and he was saying that he's learned so much from taking the class on how well organized piano teaching is and how unorganized guitar teaching is, and how there's not all these things set up that, you know, strictly from a guitar point of view like there are in piano teaching. So if it's something that you might be interested in, come take it.